This is an audio-only recording of an exercise session for Vision of Adventure. A cycling session led by Kath Finn. Please note that you will need some form of stationary bike with controllable resistance to participate in this session. Recorded in winter 2025.
Bye. Welcome to tonight's session. It is the 20th of January in 2026. And we're going to have a bit of a session tonight with some of the faster work. Last week we were concentrating on overgeared efforts and strength work. And this time we'll do some very fast little sprints, short sprints, and then we'll do some effort level about 7 slightly longer intervals of a couple of minutes. We always have a bit of a warm-up because that's really important to get the body going, wake it up, tell it what's going on. And so we're starting that as usual with 5 minutes just kind of pedaling away. And I did say I was quite busy. I think it's a mixture of things that have made me busy. We're moving 2 children into different houses this month. One's gone and we're going down to Loughborough this weekend to move the other one. I've been away I'll definitely be away 3 if not 4 weekends in January, which just means the weeks are that bit busier because you have to do everything in. Tri Club has got super busy with more coaches joining, meeting tomorrow night, swimming overbooked, need to sort out some systems so that it's less busy or more manageable. And work is also busy. So that kind of combination means that things have just a little stretched this month, which is good in lots of ways. But I will be glad to have a weekend at home at some point and just sit in front of the fire and watch a film, something like that. Last weekend was brilliant. I went to London with Jamie, my youngest, and he quite often organises that as a Christmas treat. So we went to theatre, saw The Courtroom, which is a crime drama where some of the audience are the jury. And I thought it got to the bit where they gave a verdict and I thought, well, yeah, that was good. That was a nice night. And then the next 10 minutes, there were several twists in the tale and it was like, oh my gosh, oh, I didn't see that coming. And God, that was a great character change. And we had Vietnamese dinner where he booked a hotel for us. So, and then we went to Mono, which is modern art gallery, which I'd not been to before. And that was really good. That had lots of very fun things in it to look at. Things that made you laugh, but things that made you think. So yeah, and then I got the train home. So one nice weekend. Bit of a contrast to the one before, where, as most of you know, I was in a forest in the north of Scotland supporting mountain bikers in the snow. But there's nothing wrong with a bit of contrasting experience. So in our warming up, we are going to do just 2 little 3-minute blocks, and we're going to get a little bit more intense on every minute. So we're going to start at like effort 5, 6, then go to effort 6, 7 out of 10, and then for the last minute be up kind of 8, 9 out of 10 effort. So you do end up working reasonably hard, and we'll just see what the body says. Some of you have got coats on, so I'm guessing your building is fairly cold at the minute. So the body will be more willing to work hard when it's warm. It doesn't really like being forced when it's cold, which is partly why we do this nice steady warm-up, just to get the blood flowing, encourage the muscles to work smoothly, get the brain and the neural pathways working, and then we can just progress it a little bit and see what happens. So we're going to do 1 minute, just at about effort 5, 6, starting now. So this definitely shouldn't feel hard. I'm just pedaling along. You should still be able to talk if you had mute off. So it should be that kind of easy effort level, cruising along. Pretending that you're in a nice sunny Mallorca with the sun on your back. "20 seconds to go." And then we're just going to up the effort level a minute for the next minute, which we're going into now. So we kind of want to be, effort 5, 6. A little bit like hard work, but not really hard work. So you might not want to have such a full-on conversation. And then the next one, we've got a whole half minute here at the minute. The next one, we're going to go up in effort again. So in 15 seconds time, we're going to do it a little bit harder. Up you go. So effort level kind of 7 out of 10, not out of 20, or definitely not out of 100. So this you should be kind of feeling as slightly uncomfortable. Hey, good work. And then we're going to drop back down to effort level 5 quite soon, in 10 seconds actually. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. So you've got a minute now, effort level 5. 4, 5, nice and easy. And then we're going to just nudge it up again like we did before. "15 seconds to go before you go up to kind of 6, 7. And up you go. Little bit harder. You've gone from 4, 5 to kind of, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, just so that you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Looking good. I can see some shoulders have relaxed, some bodies have heated up a little bit. Blood's getting going, running around that system. And you've got about 15 seconds before we go into the last minute. 3, 2, 1. And we'll go for another minute and a little bit harder. So 7, 8, you've still got 50 minutes to ride, so we don't want you to kill yourselves off yet. Plenty of time for that later. And I finally managed to get some homework done, which I guess is the other thing that's making life quite busy at the moment. I've started my personal trainer level 3, and college is really good. Wednesday evening, 3 hours, 6 till 9. Take something sugary, keep me awake. But the tutor's great. And then the other thing is we have homework, which I haven't had time to do, but I managed to get the first question done this afternoon. And it is really interesting. We're doing nutrition, which is fascinating. And there you go. You can slack off back to effort level 4, 5. And we're not going to do 30 seconds hard because we're going to do that later. We're going to do just 20 seconds. And we always do these little ones where we're just like going as hard as we can and then slacking off and having a rest, just so that the whole system's fired. So hopefully you're kind of ready. We'll do 20 seconds, then we'll have quite a long rest, like up to a minute, and then we'll do 20 seconds again. We're going to do 3. So 3, 2, 1, off you go, 20 seconds. 10 gone. Well done. 3, 2, 1, slack off. Right, we're going to have a minute here of just like recovery pedaling. So it's great to keep the legs going. And all the legs I can see are doing that, so that's wonderful. But it's good to let the system just calm down completely before doing lots of stuff like this. Although we will have a bit later on where we probably won't get it to calm down completely. All right, you've got 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and away you go, 20 seconds. Well done. 3, 2, 1, and you've got a minute. Have a drink if you need one. Yeah, but tomorrow night, not only do I have college, but I have a course called What Next starting that I'm running. So there's a little bit of a clash of dates there with some people from the triathlon club. If they've done their first few, what do they do next? How do they train more efficiently? What can they do with race nutrition? How do they use heart rate zones? All that kind of stuff. So it should be really good fun. But I also need to be prepping for that. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Last 20 seconds. 10 left. Halfway. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Yay! So hopefully we're feeling warmed up, fired up, ready to go. And we'll just calm it down a little bit by doing a little bit on pedal technique, which we haven't visited really since before Christmas. Did a little bit on cadence last week, but we're going to slow it down. And just think about each foot and the rotation of the pedal and where the effort is. So we've talked through this before, and you guys are regular attenders here, so this will be familiar. So we're going to think about our right foot, and we're going to think about particularly the bit when your knee is closest to your face, so the very top of the pedal stroke. So as your knee is coming up towards the highest point it reaches, you want to be thinking about already trying to push the foot forward so that all the force and power is coming on as quickly as it can. So as soon as the pedal's gone over the highest bit, you've already got force going through it, because that's an area where lots of people lose a lot of power. We're just going to think about it for a little bit. So pedal with your left leg, but think about your right leg and focus on that. So you're pedaling with both legs, thinking about the right one. And you're thinking about the very top part of the stroke, and you're trying to put power on straight away. And you might need to put your resistance up slightly because you want to feel you've got enough resistance to push quite hard into. Okay, off we go. So right foot driving across the top of the pedal stroke as the knee's reaching its highest point, pushing forward to get the power on really quickly and drive the pedal down. And hopefully you're not so powerful that you propelled yourself off the front of your trainers. Okay, keep thinking right leg. We're going to do that for another half a minute. But while you're doing it, the next bit we're going to think about is following through that initial push and really pushing power on all the way down to the very bottom, to the point where your foot is lowest to the floor. Okay, so we're going for our second minute with our right foot, and we're really thinking now about pushing down. You've come across the top, and now you're really putting the power on, pushing the pedal downwards. And you should be using your glutes as well as your quads. So the muscles in your backside are not just for sitting on the saddle, they are supposed to do things. And then the big muscle on the front of your leg, the quad, is what tends to take over. But we want it to allow the glute to share, because then you've got more power available to you. I have to say, quite a lot of squatting work seems to have helped my glutes when I'm on a mountain bike. Bit more power going. I've only got 10 seconds left. And then I want to keep thinking about that right foot, and we're pulling it back at the bottom. So when your foot is near the floor, you're starting to pull back. So you've got the momentum to almost swing your leg up to the start of the next one. So this is time for the very bottom section. Thinking about that little bit. And I'm not so bothered about the back section of pulling up. That's just more making sure that it gets to the top so you can do it all again. Okay, 10 seconds left. Still thinking about scraping mud off the bottom of your shoe. Okay, right, relax your brain. Keep your legs going, but don't think about either leg for the minute. We'll just have a 1 minute where we're just pedaling along. And then we need to obviously do the same thing with the other leg, or it will feel left out. We can't have that. Got half a minute of relaxing, and then we'll go for the left leg. So left leg, you're going to think as the leg comes up and your knee is nearest to your chin, then you want to be thinking about driving that left foot forwards and getting power in really quickly. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Left leg focus. Think about driving that foot over the top, getting the power on as near to 12 o'clock as you can. Because if you watch people's power outputs, quite often, some people don't get power on until their foot's in the 3 o'clock position. It's halfway down the pedal stroke. So we're concentrating on that very top bit and getting power on snappily. Very nice. Left leg focus. Looking very smooth. I'm liking it. 10 seconds, and then we're going to think left leg driving downwards. So, okay, keep going. You've driven across the top, you've generated power, and now you're driving that power downwards through the pedal stroke and really using your glutes, hopefully. Got half a minute to go thinking about this. And then for the next minute, it's thinking about pulling that foot back at the bottom of the stroke. So where your foot is nearest the floor, just before it gets down to that point, you're going to start thinking about the momentum of pulling your foot backwards. Keep it rolling. Lovely, nearly there. And relax yourselves a little bit. We're just going to put it all together, but have half a minute where you're just not thinking about anything. Now, we're going to do 2 minutes, and I want you to be thinking about both legs this time and about using all the muscles that you've got and really putting some concentrated power. We're not going to pedal any faster, and we're not necessarily going to go, right, we've got to put out a massive amount of power. We're just going to think about the muscles and see if you need to turn your resistance up a little bit. So we want a good, solid focus on what our legs are doing for 2 minutes, going now. And hopefully, without consciously thinking, I must be working harder, I must work harder, you will generate a little bit more power. That's my optimistic outlook. Lovely, get them bikes spinning. Another minute on here. Well, 45 seconds. Coming up, keep the focus. So keep thinking. And you can't possibly keep thinking all the time when you're riding. And even keeping it going for 2 minutes is really hard work on the brain. That means it needs lots of glucose to make it work, so you can eat lots of jelly babies. 2 minutes. Keep the legs moving, but relax the brain a bit. And so now we've kind of thought about everything and woken everything up a bit. We're going to do 30 seconds hard. And we'll do 40 seconds off. So this is VO2 max training. VO2 is the amount of oxygen that you can use per kilo. And it's a measure of your longevity, actually. So there's a lot of information around that says it's very good to do a little bit of work around this area and this intensity. So it is hard work. So rather than at the beginning, when you did your 20 seconds, a lot of that was about turning your legs really fast and maybe not getting quite as much power out as you could. So this time, what I want you to be thinking about is for that 30 seconds, putting as much power out as you can. So working really hard. So you will probably need your resistance up. You definitely need stuff to push against. Your cadence is still pretty high, but perhaps there's a little bit more resistance in there. So, and we're going to do 5 blocks of 30 seconds. We're then going to have a big rest, like 3 minutes, and then we're going to repeat it. So there is a little bit of pacing in here as well. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 seconds, hard and fast. Ten seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. And we're ready to go again. 3, 2, 1, 30 on, go. Nice, you're halfway through. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, 1, 40 off. And sorry, for once in my life, I got my maths wrong last time. So you will have slightly longer than you had last time. 2 done, 3 to go. And they're not massive rest periods, to be fair. Loads of time. You've got another 10 seconds. Going 3, 2, 1, go. Third block. Halfway. Well done. Keep the focus. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Relax. 2 more on this block. Your legs can do it. So make the most of your recovery. It's great to keep the legs going, keeps them moving, keeps the circulation clearing stuff. There's a high glucose glycogen use on this kind of work. So hopefully you had something before, and maybe you've even got something there. Ready to go again? 3, 2, 1, go. 30 seconds. Fourth one. Ten seconds left. Great job holding it. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. Got one left on the first set. You got 10 seconds left. Three, two, one. Last one on this set. Well done. Brilliant. Halfway through, almost there. Done 4. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Okay, you've got 3 minutes rest here. So if you need to stretch out or roll your shoulders back, then do all that kind of thing. Oh, there's some great stretching going on. I can just see a pair of hands in the air. Got loads of time. 2.5 minutes. Nice. 2 minutes left. And I keep moving from the front room, which has a lovely warm fire, to the office where the charger cable is to keep the computer going. Because it wasn't, I've been working it so hard, it wasn't fully charged. And now back to the front room where it's warm. Would be even warmer if we decorated it and put curtains up, but you know, can't have everything. And you even have another minute, but when you start again, you'll be glad of this long rest. So we've had a great time talking about food on the course, and it's so complicated about what the government tells you you should eat, and then the government doesn't say anything particular about ultra processed foods or in its actual advisory guidelines. And then you look at the impact of really low fat, which makes you eat lots of processed stuff and artificial sweeteners. And then all of that blocks the thing that's responsible for telling you that you're full. So you just want to go on eating stuff. And on that cheerful note, we've had a lovely rest, and we're now going to do 5 more 30 seconds. And that will be the last of the very hard work for this evening. So I hope you've made the most of it. 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 seconds. 10 gone. 20 gone. 5 left. 3, 2, 1. First one over. 6 done, 4 to go. Think of it like that. So this is your nice little break. You've still got 20 seconds, so you're only halfway through it. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and go hard. 30 seconds. Halfway. 5, 3, 2, 1. Relax it. And think to yourself, am I able to work as hard now as I did when I first did them? I don't know about weight training later this week. I'm going to get all my weight training moving furniture, boxes. As my brother said, why don't you just get him to hire a van and do it himself? We're way too nice. And he's moving into an apartment with his girlfriend. He's always had a girlfriend since he's been about 9, but this is the first one that he's actually going to live with. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Okay, we're going to go again, and we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and go. Third one. 30 seconds hard. 8:40. 10 left. Hang on to the end. Keep it going. Keep it going if you can. This is brilliant for sprinting in the velodrome. 3, 2, 1. 40 seconds, relax. So yes, if you're racing criteriums, which probably none of us are, or if you're going around the velodrome and doing some faster work, this is brilliant. Well, you've got 2 left and you've got another 10 seconds. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 seconds focus. Almost on it. You're almost done it. Ten seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1. 40 rest, and then you're on your last one out of 10. So you've already done 9. So that's fantastic. Well done. Got 10 seconds before we go again. 3, 2, 1, go. Your last 30 seconds of this. Excellent efforts. Very well done. Halfway there. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax and give yourselves a round of applause because that bit is hard. Okay, we'll have a little couple of minutes or until I think you're looking alive, depending which comes first. And it won't be quite yet. You're still looking like you need a bit longer. The next thing we're going to do is a few 2 minutes worth at kind of effort level 7. So that'll be your normal cadence, about 90, and an effort level of about 7. So it's threshold, where you're producing too much lactate to be able to clear it, to keep going forever. You would have to stop after, depends on what you read, 40 minutes to an hour. So it is the kind of effort that you should be able to sustain for 40 minutes, even though it would hurt. And that level of effort is probably lower than it would have been 10 minutes ago. Okay, we're starting to look half alive again. So we're probably going to do maybe 4 of these. So that's only 8 minutes of work. And we're going to go, we're about ready. Yeah. So effort level 7, normal cadence, 3, 2, 1, and go. And we're going to do it for 2 minutes. So this should be at a pace that's slightly uncomfortable. You should still be able to speak, but not in full sentences. Whereas I think your sprints we were doing before, you probably couldn't really speak at all. So this is considerably gentler, but we are doing it for a little bit longer. Gone through the half a minute. And you're looking for a lovely, even, sustainable rhythm. So go back to thinking about smooth as silk. All the power in your legs. Your arms should be quite relaxed. Shoulders and neck should be quite relaxed. That's lovely. You've got half a minute left to do. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. And now you've got a minute of relax. That's quite a good 2-to-1 ratio. Minute of relax, quite generous. Obviously free to choose your own. You have 3 minutes of relax if you want. Because there's now I can do about it. Okay, you've got 10 seconds. And then we want to be going again. 3, 2, 1. And off you go. So just reminding, effort level about 7. Comfortably uncomfortable. Do love that expression, it's great. And if your legs are dying, you can always make it effort level 5 or 6. It's kind of up to you, really. There's no point crawling off your bike going, I hate that woman, that was so hard. Equally, I don't want you sauntering off going, I hate that woman, that was so easy, I could do it with my eyes shut. You're a minute through. One more minute to go like this. Which is an interesting saying, really. Because balance is involved in cycling. If you've not got vision or you've got your eyes shut, it's actually much, much harder. Not got a point of reference to keep you on the bike. So you're using even more energy. I've got more excuse to eat nice food. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And you've got a minute's rest. Halfway through this little final block. So we've got another 4 minutes of harder pedaling to do. And my training today was a bit of a technique swim using some of toys like fins and paddles. And then I went to the gym and lifted some weight, which is getting better. I can lift more weight now. Lift weight, eat protein. Because protein is the body's creator and repairer. Okay, we're ready and we're going. So this is your third one. Get the effort 7 and then hold it. So gym, you might be breaking down muscle and you need protein to repair and rebuild. And that is happening to an extent in cycling. But even more than cycling, you're using lots of glycogen to create energy. And in order to keep the sessions going, or when you're on the tandems, you need to fuel with mainly carbohydrate. And then when you finish, you put in some protein with some carbohydrate to help your body repair itself. Because you can go out and cycle really hard and beat yourself up and all the rest of it. But unless you're also providing the fuel, the building blocks for doing what you're doing, your body won't respond in its best way. And for anyone who's menopausal woman, we need even more protein because our bodies become less efficient as we get older. But we have more wisdom and more patience than we ever did when we were in our early 20s. Well, certainly that's true for me. So we can know how to just be a little bit nicer to our bodies. Work with them. And wow, that seemed to be very quick. So we can go for the minute. And then I have this feeling we're going on to our last one. So we've got half a minute to go before we hit our very last one. And you can't ask me about protein, so I'm going to tell you anyway in the next bit. Three, two, one. And off you go. 2:11. Excellent. And you will have heard me say before, if you're doing quite a lot of exercise and you're postmenopausal, you will need about 2 grams a kilo body weight of protein a day, which is quite high and is quite difficult to hit. And you need it in bits because you can't absorb more than about 30 grams of protein to be usefully used at once. So make sure you have some protein in all your meals if you possibly can. And then try to have a couple of protein snacks, which could be hummus, Greek yogurt pot, handful of nuts, cheese and crackers, peanut butter on oat cakes. Any of those kinds of things would just give you a little extra bit. And also, instead of chocolate cake, that gives you less sugar, so it absorbs and allows your body to build and repair and maintain itself. And then you can save the sugary things for when you need the glucose. It helps avoid that 3 o'clock in the afternoon dip. I don't know if you get it, but lots of people do, and it's very common. Okay, just a little bit more. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. I hesitate to say stop because that wouldn't be a good move, but relax. We haven't got that long left. So if you're listening to this on record, the usual, just make sure that you keep pedaling for another 5 minutes or so. Let everything come back to normal. Let your heart rate come down. And then it will be much, much easier to get on with the rest of your day. And I now in turn record off.